you don't get stoved up. I'm sorry.
That's exactly right.
Pocket full of monos and a heart that won't behave. I keep my smile like a lantern, but I'm tired of being brave. You say the night is just a hallway and love's a door at the end. I've been walking in circles. Tell me, are you my friend if I let you see the ache in me?
I think we pretty much reached a decision for this week that we are going to just finish up the bottom, get dry dock credit by getting that wood finished, and then we're going to come on back down and paint the boat at the dock here. I think that's going to be the best way to do it. I'm 99% sure that's what I'm going to do. The weather that started off so promising at the beginning of this month is just not cooperating now. It's not unexpected, but it is a little bit disappointing. Anyway, that's what we're up to. That's where I'm headed, and I'll catch back up with you in a minute. Hey, I'm out here at JC Strahler. This is the back of JC Strahler. Not a sponsor, but we've got the wood all strapped down. I don't think it's going anywhere. We're more legal this time. I found out a trick that if you walk right inside. Yeah, I'm just making sure. I got some mahogany going on. You don't mind being on YouTube video, do you?
Hell no, what you want?
See, we're going to take this up the road. I got all legal. I think that's how I'm supposed to do it legally. Isn't that right?
It is. Anything 3 foot over the truck, back of the truck.
You got to have it flagged.
Yeah, or they'll write you a freaking ticket.
Well, I don't want that.
That's Glen County for you.
Okay, well, I hope that'll be all right. I think
no, that's fine.
Does that feel secure to you?
Oh, hell yeah. Try to move.
That's where they say I ain't going.
You ain't going far.
Going up to Valona. Do you know where Valona is?
No.
Valona, Georgia is just north of Darien. There's a marine railway there, and I've got a boat.
I know where that is.
That's where I'm going.
I live on the other side of Jessup in Madras Springs.
Gotcha. What brings you? What brings you up this way today?
Oh, well, it's every day. My buddy has a business, and we piddle.
Got it.
And I come and piddle, get out of bed.
Well,
I'm
that's
disabled, you know what I mean?
That's a good thing to do, piddle.
It is. Well, you don't get stoved up. I'm sorry.
That's exactly right.
I had shoulder surgery 8 weeks ago, and I laid around and I got so damn tired.
That shoulder surgery's hard, man. Does it feel better?
Hard. Hell no. I mean, it does, but it don't.
I will you on that.
Well, good luck to you, brother.
See you, brother. I appreciate the advice.
Yes, sir.
Well, folks, if that's not the best advice I've ever heard, I don't know what is. Don't sit around, otherwise you'll get stove up and sorry. Okay? That's good advice. Well, everybody, we're up here at Valona, and we're back to work. They're finishing up on some planks, and we just talked about the stuff that we have to do inside the boat. And we've definitely got a plan to try to make this our last week here, because the weather is just not going to warm up for us. So we've got to finish up this week up here, and we're going to do that. So they are doing some sanding along there. We'll get all that painted. This bottom paint will dry or cure, how do you say it, in this weather. So we'll get that done, and they'll get the rest of these planks in and get these dry fit. My new screws are coming in later today. So we'll get, and it'll be warm enough to epoxy that stuff. And so we'll get that done. Coast Guard will come back Thursday, and we'll get all signed off, and then we'll get launched next week. First of next week, or maybe Friday, who knows. And then back down to St. Simon's. I'm about ready to put this part of the year behind us, I think. Tuesday up here in Valona, and y'all, it is freezing cold today. Literally, like it's 11 o'clock right now and it is still 32 degrees. So we are dealing with cold weather for sure. But we're doing the best we can. James is actually upstairs or inside the boat working on those cross members and getting them fared back. We had a little bit of fuzzy wood on there that we had to deal with, so we're getting that taken care of this morning, and then we're doing a little sanding on where we put a little bit of fairing compound on the boat. But it's cold up here. There is a sunny, which is nice, but there's a cold wind blowing, and it's, you know, it's less than ideal conditions here for sure. But we're doing the best we can. So here's an update of how everything looks. Hang on. Everything just gets much, you know, slowed down in this kind of weather. But most of these kind of things are finished up. So here's like a clamshell that they put back on. And that's good. We're going to do some more sanding on here. And it's just so much harder in this cold weather. My screws did not come in yesterday, which they're supposed to. And here's James in there messing around. It is so cold. Really happy with how the back of the boat came out. Well, James, what'd you see down there?
Just taking a video of the toilet and got a video of the junction box and trying to figure that stuff out.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get that swapped out. How much do y'all think y'all are going to be able to get done today? It's cold.
I'm going to try and get a majority of that stuff chiseled away off that beam inside.
Okay.
She's pretty much done with what she can do out here. We can't apply the other filler until it's 50 degrees. So.
That's right. No, we can't do anything. We're stuck until it warms up.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll do what we can.
Okay. This is that repair I did the other day, and it came out pretty good, I think. I may do just a little bit. No, they've already started painting on it, so I won't do too much. But it came out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. All right. Some big fire out on Cephalo. I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to zoom in on it. But as you can see, it's 32 degrees. Hopefully that shows up. I feel bad that, you know, that we're not doing a whole lot today. But quite frankly, there's just not a whole lot that I can do. We can't apply any epoxy. We can't really do anything. James and them are doing what they can. But this weather is just really slowing us down. I mean, it's just as unfortunate as it can be, but there's not. I mean, I feel like I'm wasting time. And that's a little bit of frustrating, but it's just, you know, at 32 degrees, there's nothing I can do. So that's frustrating. I guess I'll just go home and make sure that everything is as organized as it can be, you know, so that when we do get a little break in the weather, that I can be ready. We'll just do what we can. It's Wednesday morning and it's cold. Not as cold as yesterday. It's 41 degrees, but it's still pretty cold. I am headed to pick up a generator. It's going to be in the 20s, low 20s, Friday night or Saturday night and Sunday night, or Friday night, Saturday, I don't know, something like that. And so I've got to keep my engines warm so that the water that's in the block doesn't freeze. Since my boat's out of the water, I can't turn the engines on and run them, because I'd burn up the impeller that circulates the raw water. So I can't run the engines to warm them up and put heat in them. I have to warm up the engine room. So a 1500 watt heater, I don't know, I did all this math last night, but basically I'd be pulling like 25 amps, and that's a lot to try to pull through an extension cord coming from like there's power there, but it's just a normal like ground circuit. And so that doesn't work. Well, it could work. It's a lot of amps going through an extension cord up to the boat from a household circuit, plus where that outlet is. So anyway, I'm going to get my generator and basically run that generator and have the space heaters on in there and warm that room up. That's the plan anyway. I talked to a bunch of people last night about it, and that's what they said to do. So I'm off right now to go get that, and then I got to buy a junction box. I don't know, we're trying to keep it all together, folks. This winter has turned out, what started as an easy winter in early January has gotten hard, and now here in late January. I feel really bad for all the people that just got hit and clobbered by that ice storm last weekend, and I think they're going to get hit again this weekend. But it's the winter. It is what it is, I guess. But that's what I'm up to and where I'm headed. Okay, I've got the generator all strapped down. It's 5,000 watts, so it ought to be able to hold 3,000. We'll find out though. But it's all strapped down. I don't think it's going anywhere. And I've got a fuel tank. It says diesel, but it's not. It'll be gasoline and some cords. So I think we'll be okay on that. I have to find one more space heater. Okay, headed to Valona. I got the generator off, but look at these cheap straps. This is all fouled up. It broke this. I guess I didn't have it right, and this was got all frayed up. I did a terrible job on that one. So that's trash. Man, this thing just eats projects. You got the generator set up over there. We're going to test it out in just a minute to make sure it works. James has been up in the boat doing inside work on those cross members, and he's getting that first heater set up in the engine room now. And so he's going to get that thing plugged in. We're going to start building some heat in the engine room. That'll be good. I don't know, this weather, man, golly. It has really been frustrating to have had such a good... I'm going to quit talking about it. Y'all tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about it. You hear that wind coming in now? Well, all right. Well, I'm going to test out this generator, make sure it runs. So it's plugged in okay?
Yeah. This one down.
All right, great. All right, let's see, what button am I missing here? Is it a kill switch, or maybe it'll just start right up? Let's see. Gonna have the switch on?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, James.
You're gonna need quite a bath when we get home too.
It's pretty dirty up there.
Yeah, there's a lot of mud, you know, just from going up and down the ladder and stuff.
That's all right. We'll get it cleaned up.
Oh yeah. Hey, at least there's not a bunch of stuff on it that we got to wash around this time.
That's right. Okay, well, I guess that gets us covered then.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the Wednesday update. Everybody, I'm going to drop these electrical cords off here. I guess I'll take my fuel can with me and fill up my fuel. That's kind of my update from Valona for Wednesday. Thursday morning, 8 o'clock, 8:09 I guess, I am headed up to Valona. The Coast Guard is coming this morning, and we're going to see how everything's going with them. And I think that we have for sure, like, you know, overnight, I did a lot of thinking about how we're gonna finish this this project off. You know, we've been up there about a month now, and they're ready for us to go home. We're ready to come home, and we'll just finish everything here. But we put a heater in the, like a space heater in the engine room last night to warm it up. Yeah, we're gonna take the temperature in there this morning and see. Like, it's 40 degrees right now is what my little car thermometer says, and we're gonna see if that's right. See if we raise the temperature at all in that room, because again, the forecast, we'll see if it's right, but the forecast is for temperatures to be down low 20s, is what the forecast says. They say it's all dependent on whether or not that, how far south that little system comes. So we'll see. I don't know, obviously. I need to talk to Mike from Mike's weather page. Any of y'all watch Mike's weather page? Mike has pretty good interpretation of all this stuff. He does a good job of making sense of it. I'm a big fan of old Mike. He was up in Athens for the ice storm last weekend, which is where I was. If I'd have known it, I'd have gone and found him. I like that guy. But anyway, so I'm headed up right now to Valona, and I will, when I get there, I will update you guys on what we're seeing. Well, I've made it to Valona this morning. Boy, it is freezing up here. It's probably 2 or 3 degrees cooler here than it was in St. Simons, and the wind is freaking howling. What a miserable day, but we're going to try to get as much done as we can. All right, we're walking in here. We've got some updates to look at. All right, it looks like to us, I got James here, it looks like they finished painting the bottom. I wonder how they painted that line so good without taping it. And they did a good job on that. Bottom of the boat looks good. And it looks like to us that they finished all the epoxy patching of the sacrificial keel. Boy, that looks good. All that stuff looks great to me. They got the zincs on and the rudders painted. So as far as we're concerned, then this boat's ready to go back in the water with that part being done. That's a close-up of that. up there that James did. All right, and James has got us a report. All right, so you've been down in the engine room where we plugged in that heater, and again, what the temperatures were? It's because it's like 38 degrees out here right now.
So the inside of the boat, outside of the engine room, sitting around 40 degrees, and everything inside the engine room is ranging between 45 and 55 degrees. The oil filters being about 52. So that's positive.
So that's to us, well, let's say if it's 40 degrees right now, that's about a 12 degree difference in temperature. And we've talked about how we can even insulate a little bit further. So I'm encouraged that either having one or maybe one more heater is going to be enough to keep that room warm. So the Coast Guard will be here. Hopefully we can get them to agree to let us go back down the hill, and we'll go back down the hill and finish this up in St. Simons. It's freezing cold here this morning with the wind blowing, but we'll do the best we can here to get back going. We'll just do it this way. All right, these are the bits. These are not Phillips head screws. They have another name. They are silicon bronze, and these are the special fasteners for them. That's more sharp and angular. Here, open that up so we can look at these screws. These damn things are precious, more valuable than anything. These are silicon bronze. Yeah, it's the special kind of, see how square that is and not rounded like a Phillips head
real
bit?
deep too.
Yeah, so you'll be able to drive these
Much better.
on in here. Here's I don't know, these may be silicon bronze too, but anyway, slot head makes those harder. Now, we got 200 of these. It's pretty expensive. Fairwinds Fasteners though, guys. Not a sponsor. Whew. I have come back in and sat down in the car. Again, it feels super cold up here this morning. So yeah, so I'm hanging here in the car for a minute, just waiting on the Coast Guard to get here. I mean, this wind is brutal this morning. All right, everybody, here we are for our morning update. This is a little bit of a, I don't know if I want to call it a setback, but the Coast Guard was just here, and what they're telling us is that the way this boat is laid out, it's got a real long keel that goes all the way down it, and then essentially where the bottom meets the keel is it's got cross members that go, well, it's called a thwartships, but they go across the boat that kind of ties everything into the keel, and then where those cross members come across, it's got a keel bolt that goes down through the keel and ties in, well, it goes down through those cross members into the keel. So essentially those bolts pull or provide, they help spread the load of the keel across the cross members into the whole bottom of the boat, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm explaining it right or not, but what the Coast Guard has said today is that during their inspection they have found where some of the wood where those bolts are going through, the keel bolts, is that there is some wood that has been degraded, some soft wood, and we've had this issue once before that we fixed, but that repair has kind of come undone, and so we've got to redo that one, and we got to redo some other stuff. So that's what we're working on right now, is making sure there's good wood all the way around, and I've got to submit a proposal to them on that. And so I'm a little bit punked out right now about that. just kind of put a drag on things today. So not great news, but again, we're just, they're trying to keep everybody safe. No hard feelings and all, but they're just trying to keep everybody safe. All right, I'll be back here in a little bit as I find more out about all this. Okay, back to Townsend again. Good grief, I've been back and forth like this is like my 4th time today. 54 degrees on the temperature gauge here today. We'll see how warm it gets. It feels warm in the sunshine. All right, these cross members, man, this is really wild stuff, but I'm headed back to get a new socket, and because I have to have a deep weld socket to make this work. But anyway, I'll try to put some pictures on here to show y'all what we're dealing with, and what we're really looking to try to chase down is what the cause is what is causing this. I am suspect of some stray electrical current around the dock, but I'm just not sure. But well, I don't know, we'll see. I don't know. I sound like kind of like a moron on this, talking about things I don't know about. But if any of you guys out there that know some things about boats, know or have an idea about what I'm dealing with, drop it in the comments down below and let me hear from you, because we're trying to get this issue solved long term. Anyway, I'm headed back to Townsend to get an 1 1/8 deep well socket 1/2-inch drive, and I'll be back down at the boat in a little while. Paul's working right inside the boat, right up above us. Right here. That means that keel boat goes all the way down through there. Wow. That's going to be hard to get to when it comes time. We've kind of got a plan now. So Paul is going to wait back up here for James to get back, and then James is going to cut out the remaining board that needs to, or the remaining area, because we got to go another 3 feet. So that's he's going to wait and do that. I'm going to head back down. I got to send a response email to the Coast Guard about, they just sent me a follow-up summary of all the stuff. So I got to go type that email and send it to them. And then in the morning, I'm going to pick up the white oak that has to go back on the interior in these cross members to the keel. And I'll bring that wood back up here in the morning. But tomorrow, since the weather's going to be nice tomorrow, it's going to be the last day of nice weather tomorrow. We got to get all the boards in on the boat. And then we're going to do the interior work on Saturday and Sunday when the weather's so crappy. So I've got to send all that to the Coast Guard right now, and then that's going to be the plan. So I'm headed back to St. Simon's right now, and that's how we'll do it. Okay, and then we'll leave to head back down to St. Simon's on Monday, I guess. So that's where it stands. All right, I'll see you guys later this afternoon or first thing in the morning. Well, guys, we're not really sure where we stand today. It's a nice day today. It's actually 62 degrees out, and James and Paul have been working all day, and I have been waiting on the wood to get here that we have to use for tomorrow. It's just now gotten here. It's 1 o'clock, so I think James has already gone for the day, and Paul is probably too. So now I'm trying to figure out what I should do, right up there and drop this wood off, or just wait until in the morning, because I don't think we're going to do anything with it today. So what I'll probably end up doing is, today it's too bad that we can't get going anymore this afternoon. on this last day. I think they got most of the wood in. I don't really know what to do. This is all a big logistical puzzle to try to figure out, because we're trying to get down the hill on Monday. I call it down the hill, down the coast on Monday. I feel like we've really wasted a lot of time here. All right, well, let me go pick up this wood and then I'll figure out what to do. All right, well, here's the plan. It's not an awesome plan. I feel like we're wasting time, but everything is staged. I've picked up the wood, and they've wrapped up for today. They've gotten everything dry fit except for one plank on the mahogany. And so what we're gonna do today is we're knocking off for today. James is gonna go get his son from school, and Paul is headed back home. Then we're gonna meet first thing in the morning, fit that last plank, and or do the epoxy work on the inside as the weather deteriorates tomorrow. And then we'll see what we need to do on Sunday, and then hopefully we'll get back in the water on Monday and come back down and finish up during February. All right, so that's all I have today. That's my update. Not a very good one. Tomorrow's a new day. Okay, it's Saturday morning. Boy, today is a crunch day for us. We've got a little window here. Right now the sun is shining. We'll see how it is in Valona. I'm leaving St. Simons right now. We'll see how the weather is up in Valona. But today the idea is to get the last plank installed. In boat building world they call it the whiskey plank, but that's not what it is for us, because they all have to come back out and get epoxied in. So then I guess we could call it the whiskey plank later, but not right now. Anywho's and way, we've got to get that last plank installed. Then we've got to shift to the inside and shoring up those 2 or 3 areas down on our cross members where we've got some soft wood. And we're doing that with epoxy and all that. And we got to do all that before this temperature plummets. I looked at the radar a little while ago, and the radar looks like all that. Right now it's snowing above Augusta, Georgia, and all that. So it's definitely coming this way. It's not going to snow here, I don't think, but it is going to be cold, down the mid to low 20s. Our concern there is that any seawater left in the engines will freeze, potentially cracking the block. So we've got space heaters inside the boat trying to keep the engines above 32 degrees. You know, that'd be a hell of a note to do all this work on the boat and then have, you know, put it back in the water and all of a sudden, you know, the engine's cracked. Wouldn't that be great? But, so today's a really important day for us, and we're going to work hard to do all we can to get hopefully floated by Monday or so, depending on what this weather does, how bad it is. It's supposed to be really windy overnight tonight and maybe tomorrow. Like wind chills down in the single digits or something like that. And that's hard for us to work in, obviously. So that's the plan. I'm on the way to Valona, and I'll be there in about 30 minutes. But we made it up to Valona. Here we go. Let's take a look and see. All right, so yesterday they got the last, or the 2 bottom boards in, and then what we're going to do right now, James and I are going to get this top board in, and that'll be good. The bottom's all done in one of those mahogany boards.
Yeah, it's this one. Final one on the bottom. It's like, it's not, it is a bow, but it's almost twisted more so than
Right.
it's bowed.
Okay.
And it was a pain to, one side would line up, and then the other side would pop out a good 2.5 inches.
Right.
So we got it sorted, but
Yeah, he said y'all had to wrestle with it a little bit.
yeah, it took some extra screws and quite a bit of extra time to figure out how to make it work, but we got it.
All right, well, what can I help you do? You want to wait on Paul for that last board?
I think we're gonna wait on Paul.
Okay.
He should be here shortly. He texted me and asked me what time I was gonna be here this morning.
Okay, good. All right, we'll just wait on Paul.
Sounds good.
There was a time I could do it all. Stay up all night, never feel it all. Played the game, win their hearts, fit in all their plans and did my part. Where I gotta be there just because. Yeah, I guess that's how it is or how it was, but I feel low today. I feel low today. Try not to show it, but I feel low today. But I'm tired, Lord, I'm tired in my soul. But my body is still strong, but the living's grown old. I feel old today. Oh, I feel old today. Try not to show it, but feel slow, but feel slow today. Gonna lay it down and rest my mind and search for pieces out there and been so hard to find. 'Cause in your arms I'm alive again. Oh, with you, babe, I'm right back and ready to begin. And I don't feel old today. Oh, I don't feel old today. No matter what they do, I don't feel old today. No, I don't feel old today.
Okay, so that's the plank in. That's good. They call it the whiskey plank.
And I ain't never going back there.
And that's in dry fit. Of course, we will plane all this. We will epoxy all this. All this will be much better installed as we move forward. All that'll be faired in and epoxied in, but it's good to see that there's no giant hole left in the boat. Well, that's an official wrap for today, guys. The temperature has really dropped down and it's gotten super windy and it's cold here. They have just a hair more to finish up and then they're going to be done for today. I feel pretty good about the work that's done. We're probably going to come up in the morning or tomorrow at noon maybe and do one more thing, and then hopefully that'll be good enough to get us down the road. So stay tuned. I may have an update before I release tomorrow's video, but I may just release it like this. So and anyway, we really appreciate all the support and encouragement we've had. I really appreciate y'all watching too. Thank you very much. it means a lot. So we'll see how it looks tomorrow. Well, one last quick update. I said I was done updating, but I'm not. I'm leaving Darien, Georgia, where it is currently snowing. Wind's blowing about 30 miles an hour, and it is snowing. It's freezing cold. All right, see y'all tomorrow.